Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to our Bhagavad Gita class. The objective of this class is to enable reading of the shlok, to understand the meaning of the shlok, and to understand the basic philosophy of Gita. So we are on chapter 6, Dhyan Yoga. We have finished up to shlok number 45 last time. And what this particular chapter is divided into 5 sections. We have covered the first 4 sections, and now today we will be starting the Bhakti Yoga from shlok number 46, Bhakti Yoga, the topmost yogi, and then we will go with the glories of chapter 6 from Padma Puran, and then we will start with chapter 7. So what we did in the last class is, now we in Dhyan Yoga, Krishna has explained how the yogi should be, the Ashtanga yogi should be. So he has told that to do the practice, the yogi should go alone in a secluded place and should sit in a on a kusha glass, not much higher, not much lower, and then should concentrate his mind on the tip of his nose and meditate, and like this is what he should be doing. And then he should regulate his diet. He should not eat too much, should not sleep too much. He should regulate his and he has to live a very, very austere life. Now, listening all these things, what happened is Arjun is listening to all the past 45 shlokas that Krishna has explained about how the Ashtanga yoga or the Dhyan yoga should be done. Arjun is very concerned, and he says that it looks very, very impractical. In this, our mind is so fickle, and the Krishna, the way you are explaining that Dhyan yoga should be done, it looks impossible. I can understand that we can control our mind for 2-3 days, but the entire process is so difficult that I don't think that it is practical for me. Then Krishna says that, Arjun, it is possible, but you have to do 2 important things, that is, control your mind by practice and detachment. And if you follow these 2 things, you control your mind and follow detachment, then this is the yoga is possible. So Krishna concluded that mind control is a must for a yogi. Then, listening to that, Arjun had another question, and he asked, okay, tell me one thing. This whole process about yogi, that yoga we had been talking about, is so difficult. What actually happens to a yogi who is who has started from, and we talked about the 2 clouds. One is a material cloud, in material world in which we all are, and then spiritual cloud where we all have to reach. And suppose some yogi who has started the process in the material world and has been slowly advancing towards the spiritual world. Say a small cloud is moving out from the material world towards the spiritual cloud. So what happens if this yogi in the lifetime is not able to reach the spiritual world? What will happen? What is the fate of that yogi? And then Krishna says it depends upon the practices the yogi would have done in the lifetime. And if the yogi has done less practice, has traveled less, has detached, has practiced, but has traveled less towards the spiritual path, but has traveled, then what is guaranteed is at least a human life is guaranteed. And then what will happen? He will actually first go to a higher planets, like a Swarglok, but still he will be in the material world. He'll be in the material world, but he'll go to higher planets like Swarglok, and he will enjoy he'll enjoy there for many, many years. But once his pious points that he has got is finished, he will actually fall down on the earth planet. But when he falls down, he will either be born in a family where he will get an environment where he can still grow forward in his spiritual journey. Sometimes we see small kids, they are born, and then they actually start doing prayers, and then they have an environment at home. They are lucky to travel to Badrinath, Kedarnath in a very young age, whereas some people, even at the age in the end of their life, they're not able to do so. They are like lucky people, they continue their journey. Yeah. And then, or if suppose such people have a lot of material desires, although they had been practicing the spiritual journey, what will happen? They'll be born in some wealthy family where they will not have to worry about the food, clothing, others, but they will have a good life and a spiritual environment. But again, they will be able to satisfy their material desires that they have, and that is how the births get decided. Now, someone who had actually traveled a much higher distance towards the spiritual platform and has done lots and lots of tapasya and has fallen short of reaching the goal, then such people are actually born into a very pious and a family of acharyas, priests, where they have the entire environment is so conducive that they are very easily able to move forward in that direction and finally achieve the final goal. Got it? So this is what Krishna explained about what happens to a person. Unlike a person who is in material world, has not started his journey, what happens? Whatever we have earned in this life, as with the when we have not moved into the spiritual journey, it will get lost in this lifetime itself. But if we have done some spiritual thing, spiritual journey, we've started that, and we have been doing some transcendental devotional service, that is the only thing that we carry from this life to next life. Rest, all the things that we have in this life, in the material world, whatever bank balance we have, whatever houses we would have acquired, whatever land we would have acquired, everything we are going to leave behind when we go to travel our next journey. The only thing that we'll carry from this life to next life is the name of how much chanting we have done of the God's name, how much scriptures we have read, how much scriptures we have listened. The more, and Krishna says to control the mind, one of the thing is to listen to scriptures. The more you listen to Krishna Katha, the more you are absorbed in Bhagavatam, the more you are listening to Bhagavad Gita. These are the things which will actually carry with you even to your next life, right? So this is what we actually read in our last class. And today we will do the last two shlok of 6th chapter. So let us go to shlok number 46. Tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi ज्ञानेभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन तपस्वी भयो अधिको योगी ज्ञानेभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन. Now Krishna says, tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi. A yogi is greater than tapasvi. Yeah, a yogi is greater than a tapasvi. Then he says, jnanebho api matodhika. In my opinion, jnani, even the those who are jnani, who are the jnanis? Knowledgeable. Those who are knowledgeable. What knowledge? When we say they are jnani, they are the one who actually reads. They have understood. They have reached the platform where they understand that the body and soul are different. Body is just a cover for the soul, and the real I is actually soul, which is in the journey. Yeah, so that is that knowledge they have achieved, and they work to achieve more knowledge for the soul, right? So jnanebhyo api matodhika, and even the yogi is greater than jnani. Okay, karmibhyascha adhiko yogi. Karmi, even from a karmi is what? Someone who follows the karm kand. Even from karm kand, yogi is higher. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. So, O Arjun, bhav means become. So, O Arjun, tasmad, that is why you become a yogi. Tasmad yogi bhavar. Let's read the English translation. A yogi is greater than the ascetic.
A yogi is greater than the ascetic.
Greater than the empiricist.
Greater than the empiricist.
And greater than the fruitive worker.
And greater than the fruitive worker.
Therefore, O Arjun, in all circumstances, be a yogi. Now here we have to really look at the words that Krishna has used. Yogi, what is the meaning of a yogi? A yogi is a one. Yogi means connection to the God. Connection to absolute is yogi, right? Yuj, it comes from the yuj dhatu, means connection to the God. Krishna doesn't say Jnana yogi matodhika. He says tapasvi, jnani and karmi. Now tapasvi, jnani and karmi are different than jnana yogi, karma yogi. Because when you say tapasvi, tapasvi is people who do lot of vratas in the daily life. They do Sunday fastings. They are actually doing to purify themselves. So they are tapasvis. Yeah, they do lot of pujas, prayers, but they're doing a lot of vrata to get XYZ. Not a very clear idea of what exactly we want, but they keep on doing that. So they are basically the tapasvis, right? So then jnani is someone who is actually understands body and soul is different and is trying to gain more knowledge, but doesn't know the final goal. A karmi is also who is doing a lot of good work with with detachment, something like he's building dharamshalas, building hospitals, building a lot of good things. It's a mode of goodness, but is not dedicating the work to Krishna, the God. So what happens? These are the various categories that we have. So he says from all these things, yogi is better. And yogi, when you talk about yogi, it could be a karma yogi, it is a jnana yogi, it is a dhyana yogi, or a bhakti yogi. So he's saying be a yogi. But what type of yogi, he will talk about in the next slok. But he says more than tapasvi, jnani and karmi, a yogi is better. So be a yogi. Means whatever work you're doing, do it for the God. Don't just do the work for yourself. Whatever your work you're doing, you offer the results to the God. Don't take it for yourself. I'm doing this, so this good should happen to my son. I'm doing this good should happen to my daughter. So what you're doing, you are doing everything for yourself. You are not doing the thing for Krishna. You are doing everything is targeted for yourself. So he says, yogi, any yogi, whether it's a karma yogi, jnana yogi, dhyana yogi, everyone is better than a tapasvi, karmi or jnani. So be a yogi. That is the first sentence he tells here. Yeah. Now let us go to the next slok, 47. Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatena antaratmana Shraddhavan bhajte yo mam sa me yukta tamo matah Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatena antaratmana Shraddhavan bhajte yo mam sa me yukta tamo matah
Yoginamapi sarvesham
madgatena antaratmana
Shraddhavan bhajate
yo mam Same yukta tamo matah. Now in shlok, this is the last shlok of chapter 6. He is now telling what yogi should you be. He talked about be a yogi. Now he is saying, so the last word of this shlok is matah. Matah is my opinion, in my opinion. Yukta tamo. Yukta is again connected. And yukta tamo means highest connection. Tamo is like highest. So yukta tamo is the best, highest connection. Then he says who? Shraddhavan bhajte yo mam. Mam is to me. Shraddha is by faith. Shraddhavan bhajte yo mam. Who with all the faith is doing bhajte to me. And what is the meaning of bhajna? Bhajte is not just worship. It is who does service to me, who does devotional service. It is not just worship. It is more than worship. It is when you look at the word bhajte in Sanskrit, it talks about who does service for me. Then he says, Yoginam api sarvesham. Yoginam api means among all the yogis. So there are various types of yogis. Among all these, sarvesham means every time. Mad gatenantara atmana. Atmana means inside. Inside. Mad gatenantar. Inside, he is always thinking about me, and he is doing all the thing, and Shraddhavan bhajte yomam, and doing devotional transcendental service for me. And that yogi is the highest in my opinion. Right? So let us read the English translation. And of all the yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga, and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So in the first 6 chapters, so when you talk about Bhagavad Gita has got 18 chapters. In the 18 chapters are divided into 3 parts. The first 6 part is the first phase. Second, where Krishna talks about Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga. From 7th to 12 is Bhakti Yoga. And from 13th to 17th and 18th is the summary, is more of a Jnana Yoga. Yeah. So Krishna, with this is the last shloka of the 6th chapter, and he's now introducing Bhakti Yoga. He says that yogi who is actually doing the devotional service to me is the highest among all. Yeah. So this is what it is. And so the yoga ladder, when you see the yoga, that the different yogas that we learned till now, it is like a ladder, rungs of the ladder. It is a rungs of the ladder. So we talked about karma yoga. So now when you say the karma yoga, if he is doing the, it's a karmi, and is doing the work without detachment, that is karma yoga. And if he's offering all the services to Krishna, and then it is very much nearer to Bhakti Yoga. If that is the thing that, he's doing all the activity totally with detachment, with no expectations of fruits, and is also offering everything to Krishna, that is very closer to Bhakti Yoga. So but Karma Yoga, when you're doing all the activity with detachment, that is the lowest level. Then you go up, by doing that, you go to a stage when you start understanding that I am not this body, I am the soul. That knowledge takes you to the next rung, where you understand, that is called Jnana Yoga, where you start understanding that, okay, whatever I'm doing for the body is temporary, it will get lost in this material world, but I should be working for the soul, because that is what is going to carry for me, and my soul is nothing but a part and parcel of Krishna, and my soul journey is to finally go to Krishna. Yeah, that is my final journey. So when you do that, when you understand that, and Jnana Yogi, and he starts doing things for Krishna and trying to understand more. So that is the next level you reach. So when you become a Karma Yogi, when you have understood that, you actually go to the next stage, which is a Jnana Yogi, and you start reading lot of, and here you read lot of Upanishads, you start going exploring that area, that side they go. Someone who starts going forward and starts doing meditation, understanding, okay, this is there, now starts doing dhyan on the super soul inside that. Yeah. So this Jnana Yogi will be actually following the all-pervading Brahma. Yeah, they'll be following the all-pervading Brahma. And when you still move forward, then you start realizing that you have the super soul Paramatma within yourself. And that is basically the Dhyana Yoga. When you start still moving that and understanding and doing meditation, and finally when you keep on doing that, then you reach the next slug, which is the Dhyana Yoga, and there you realize the Paramatma within. If someone leaves it at that stage, when you have understood the Paramatma and thinks that they have arrived, then you stay at that one. But still, if you continue your search for the absolute truth and keep on falling there, then you go to the topmost ladder, which is where you will see the Bhakti, where Krishna says that yogi who is always doing service to me is abiding for me, and that is the beginning of Bhakti Yoga. Okay? So now we are actually starting the Bhakti Yoga. So I will go to now from Padma Puran. I will talk about the Gita Mahatmya, the story that Padma Puran talks about the chapter 6, right? So this story is about King Janashruti and Rishi Raik. The story is about chapter 6 talks about King Janashruti and Rishi Rag. So what happened? Once there lived a great king named Janashruti near Godavari river. And he was so dani. He was extreme dani. He was extreme tapasvi. He was famous across the universe for his austerity, for the yajnas that he was doing, and for his generosity. He was so famous that even all the devatas, they always used to almost worship him. Yeah. So one day the devatas decided that they will go and meet Janshruti. So what they did, all of many of the devatas together, they took the form of swans and they started coming towards earth to meet Janshruti. So one of the swans commented that okay, we should all be together because the power of Janshruti's yajna is so much that someone should not fall down. Yeah. So one of the swans commented, oh, is it even powerful than Rishi Raik? Now, King Janashruti heard this, that the swans are talking, that is it better than or is it higher than Rishi Rag? So he started wondering, who is this Rishi Rag? Let me find out about this Rishi Rag. Who is this Rishi Rag? I don't know about him. So he asked his Senapati that please put a chariot. I want to go in search of Rishi Rag. I want to know who he is. So he went to Kashi. He took bath in Ganga and started inquiring about Rishi Rag. Do you have anyone knows about that? So slow. Then he went to Dwarika. He went to all the dhams searching for Rishi Rag, but he could not find. Finally, he reached Badrinath, Mathura. Badrinath, when he reached, started looking for that. But he said somewhere he came to know that okay, still move forward in the northern direction, and then he started moving towards Kashmir. Yeah. Now, when he started moving towards Kashmir, his people started talking about Rishi Rag. And finally, in Kashmir, there was a great temple of Shiva, of in the form of Madhikeshwar. As a Madhikeshwar, the Kashmir and the Shiva's temple was there. And on the door of Shiva's temple, actually, Rishi Rag was sitting. And when Janshruti saw Rishi Rag, he was, his the glory, the divine grace that was actually engulfing him. He was like he mesmerized, and he just did Shashtang Pranam to him. And then he asked, he said, tell me, how did you get this glory? That even the Devtas talk about your glory, what it is. So he said that, he actually recites the chapter 6 of Gita every day. And that is a secret of his divine grace, which even Devtas admire. And then King Janshruti, he actually learned chapter 6 from recitation of that from Ray Krishi. And it said that, and he finally got moksha. And it says that whoever recites chapter 6 every day gets liberation, gets into the Vishnu. He gets a swarup of Vishnu and stays with Vishnu always. That is the mahima, that is the mahatma of chapter 6. Reciting chapter 6 every day actually gives you liberation, and you get the swarupa moksha of with Vishnu. That's what happens. So there is a mahatma as per Pad Puran. Yeah. Now we go to chapter 7, Bhakti Yoga. The name of the chapter is Knowledge of the Absolute. Knowledge of the Absolute. Now, as I mentioned, that chapter 7 to chapter 12 is Bhakti Yoga. Now, when you have a lot of precious things with you, a lot of precious jewel, you will put it in a box, right? So it is said that the container in which the box is kept, the box is there. That is the first 6 chapter of Gita. The lid is the last 6 chapter of Gita, and the jewels inside the box is the middle chapter of Gita, which is Bhakti Yoga. Yeah. Why it is so? Because this 6th chapter is the one. Till first 6 chapter, Krishna never talked about him. He only talked about in a very, very, maybe total 5 to 7 shloks, maximum 10, he would have talked about my or me. But now onwards, he will start revealing himself. He'll start talking about himself. That is why it's called knowledge of the absolute. So next 6 chapters that we'll be talking, Krishna is going to talk about himself, how you can get him. And that is why it is the jewel of Bhagavad Gita and is the most sick. And of the 6th chapter, the 9th chapter is the most special chapter where Krishna actually reveals his heart. So 9th chapter, and in the 9th chapter, the last stroke of the 9th chapter is the essence of Gita. Is the essence of Gita. Yeah. So now let us move to the chapter 7. Oh, so here, I mean, we talked about the last stroke, and so let's go to the 7.1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Maya Saktmana Partha.
Maya Saktmana Partha.
Yogam Yunjanma Madashrayah.
Yogam Yunjam Madashrayah.
Asanchayam Samagram Mam.
Asanshayam Samagram Mam.
Yatha Gyasyasi Tachunu.
Yatha Yavyasi Tachanu.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Maya Saktmanah Partha.
Maya Saktmana Partha.
Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah.
Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah.
Asanchayam Samagram Mam.
Asanshayam Samagram Mam.
Yatha Gyasyasi Tachunu.
Yatha Vyasasi Tachanu.
Mataji. Shri Bhagavan.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Maya Asakta Manah Partha.
Maya Asaktmana Partha.
Yogam Unjana Mad Ashraya.
Yogam Yunjan Mad Ashrayah.
Sayam Samagram Mam.
Asanchayam Samagram Mam.
Yatha Nayashtitam Churu.
Yatha Gyasyasi Tachinuhu. Yeah. So Krishna said, now here Krishna is knowledge of absolute. So he starts talking about himself from this. He has told that be the yogi who is always thinking about me. But how? So he'll start explaining those things now. Maya Asat Maya Manah Partha. Parth is Arjun. O Parth, Maya is in me. Me. Asakt means Asat is connected to Mana, whose mind is always connected to me. So he's talking about connection of the mind to whom? To him. Partha, Yogam Yunjan Mad Ashraya. Mad is my. Ashraya is, my shelter. Mad Ashraya is my shelter. Someone who takes my shelter and his mind is connected to me. Asanchayam. Asanchayam means there is no sanchaya, there is no doubt. Sanchaya means doubt. Asanchaya means there is no doubt. Samagram Mam. Samagram means complete. Complete. Mam is me. Yatha Gyasyasi Tachuru. Tachuru means here. Tachuru means now here. Tachuru is now here. So now let us read the English translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
now here,
Now here,
O son of Pritha,
O son of Vritha,
how by practicing yoga
how by practicing yoga
in full consciousness of me,
in full consciousness of me,
with mind attached to me,
with mind attached to me,
you can know me in full,
you can know me in full,
free from doubt.
free from doubt.
Right? So how can you know Krishna? When in your mind, your concentration is towards Krishna. Right? When you are concentrating your mind on Krishna and you have taken his shelter. These are the two things. When you have done that, slowly Krishna will start revealing himself to you. This is what he says here. Yeah. So what we have learned till now in the last 6 chapter about the absolute truth, we know that absolute truth comes in 3 forms. And we talked about that story of a green mountain. And when you are coming from a plane, you actually see a huge, just a green color, something high there. And that is so Krishna, when you look at Krishna, the effulgence of the Krishna, the light which surrounds Krishna is so high that it is the Brahma Jyoti. The Jyoti that you see is actually emanating from his body, which is all pervading. Yeah, it's so when you are seeing from the plane high, you are seeing that green mountain. The green color that you are seeing actually is that all pervading effulgence of the God. Yeah, that's a Brahma Jyoti. If you still want to know more, if you are happy and Brahm, you just stop there, then you will be there. But if still the plane, when it comes nearer, then you can see, okay, the mountain, it is a mountain, but it has got a lot of trees and some huts, probably lot of trees, you can see that, right? And that is when you can actually see the Paramatma inside. That is the second stage, the super soul inside your heart. And when you go very close to the mountain, you can see even people, there are a lot of people walking down, or animals, cows and all. And that is what, when you can see the physical body of the physical Krishna. Got it? So these are the Bhagwan. So that is the Brahma Jyoti, Super Soul Paramatma, and Bhagwan. These are the three stages of absolute truth. They all are same. They are not different. It all depends upon from your journey, and everyone is in a spiritual journey. It all depends upon a journey, where you are in the journey. And from that point, how you are seeing. If you are very far, you can only see the green mountain. Then you will see, you are only aware about the effulgence, that okay, there's Brahma, there's Brahma is there, some light is there, and you follow that. But when you with faith, with Shraddha, you keep on going inside, then you start knowing about the Paramatma who is dwelling inside your heart. And when you still start going inside, then you see the God himself, Bhagwan himself, right? So this is a three stage of absolute truth. Now Krishna says, Maya asak mana partha, you have to concentrate your mind on me. The question is, how can you concentrate your mind on Krishna? What to do? And that is what he talks about here. Tachru, hear from me. So in bhakti, when you have to concentrate your mind on that, you have to follow the, in the last talk also talked about devotional service, bhajte. You have to follow the devotional service. And in Bhagavatam, the devotional service is defined into 9 forms. There are 9 forms of devotional. It says Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedan. They are the 9 stages of devotional service. The first of it is hearing. The first of this is hearing. Unless you hear, you will not get attracted. Anything that you want to know, because you would have heard from someone, then you want to know about it. So everything starts from hearing. So how can you concentrate on your mind? You can only concentrate your mind when you start hearing. The more you hear about Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the more hear about Krishna, the more your mind will get attracted towards it, and the more your mind will get concentrated. You will purify. The more you get purified, the more you hear, the more you chant, you are getting purified. And based on your level of purification, you will get more attracted towards it. That is the process. So the more you are hearing, the more you are chanting, the more you are getting purified. The more you are purified, you will get more attracted towards it. The more you hear Krishna Katha, what is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is nothing but Krishna Katha. What is Bhagavatam? It's nothing but Krishna Katha. So you have to never miss it. If ever you get a chance of hearing Bhagavatam, you should not miss it. It is only by luck that we are able to hear it. So the more you hear, the more you read, the more. So it is Shravanam, Kirtanam. Kirtanam is chanting the God's name, doing Kirtan. All these things is going to purify us, attract, and help us to concentrate the mind, right? Then Smaranam. We do Archana. Every day we do prayers. Then Vandanam, reciting prayers. Then Pada Sevanam, nicely decorating the God and doing his Pada Seva, what do you call it, taking feet and also washing with different things. Then Dasyam. Das is Seva, like a servant, right? And then Sakhyam is like a friend. And Atmaniveda is complete surrender. So these are the process. And when you do that, you actually achieve Krishna. Okay. So that's it. We go to the next slok. 7.2. Jnanam teham savijnanam.
Jnanam teham savijnanam.
Idam vakshama sheshatah.
Idam vakshama sheshatah.
Yaj gyatva neha bhuyon yaj.
Yajnatvaneha bhuyo yaj.
Gyatvaayam avishyashyate.
Jnatvayam ashishyate.
Jnanam teham savijnanam.
ज्ञानं तेहं सविज्ञानम्
idam vakshama sheshatah
इदं वक्ष्यामि शेषतः
yajgyatva neha bhuyonyaj
यज्ञात्वा नेह भूयोऽन्यच्
ज्ञात्व्यम् अविशिष्यतः.
ज्ञात्वमविशिष्यते
Mickey.
ज्ञानं ते अहं सविज्ञानम्
ज्ञानं तेहं सविज्ञानम्
इदं वक्ष्यामि अशेषतः
इदं वक्ष्यामि शेषतः
यज्ञात्वा नेह भूयोऽन्यत्
यज्ञात्वा नेह भूयज्यज्
ज्ञातव्यम् अवशिष्यते
ज्ञात्वयम् अविश्यशते. So Krishna here says, he says now he'll tell everything. Now tachnu. He says, now listen. So what you listen? So he says that now tachnu is what he stopped in the last. He said, what you listen? Now listen. Jnanam. Jnanam is knowledge. Jnanam is knowledge. Teham, from me, savijnanam. Not only knowledge, but Vigyan is again application of knowledge. Idam vakshama sheshta. And when after hearing this, yaj gyatva neha bhuyo, there is nothing else to be left to be known further. After you have learned the gyan and vigyan from me, then there's that's gyatva. After knowing that, na iha in this material world, iha means in this material world, na nothing, bhuyo further. Anya gyatvam avishyashede. Anya gyatva. After that, there's nothing else left to be known. Now, what is this gyan and vigyan that Krishna is talking about? Now, gyan is something called, so let us now read the English translation. I shall now declare unto you.
I shall now declare unto you
In full, this knowledge,
in full this knowledge,
both phenomenal and numerous.
both phenomenal and numinous.
This being known,
This being known,
nothing further shall remain for you to know.
nothing further shall remain for you to know.
Right? So Krishna is going to talk about Gyan, which is knowledge. And then when he talks about knowledge, he's talking about the material world. He's going to talk about the material world. Now, in the 14th chapter of Krishna, we'll be talking about Prakriti and Purush. Prakriti and okay, I'll talk about that. Prakriti and Purush. So, basically, in this entire cosmos, there's only one Purush, which is Krishna. And anything else, this material world, everything is Prakriti. Yeah. So, the knowledge is about material world and how, which is Krishna's material energy, spiritual energy, opulence, matter and spirit. That is what knowing all these things is knowledge. And what is Vigyan? Is knowledge about Krishna's sweetness. So one thing is how Krishna controls everything. Yeah, the material world, the spiritual world, his opulence is about how he controls. But about him himself, how sweet he is, how about his hurt. That is what is the Vigyan. Okay. So now we go to the next. Then the question is, why to Arjun? Why is he telling to Arjun, not to anyone else?
Because he is the Sathya of Arjun, no? Or Arjun is his path.
Yes, but why so?
Because he wants to gain knowledge.
Yeah, he has completely surrendered. He has completely surrendered to Krishna, and also not only is completely surrendered, he is his best friend and a great devotee. Right? So to understand this, if you have your aham, you will never learn. Never. You should have questions. You have a lot of questions, but not in a challenging. You should first surrender and inquire to learn. Then only someone who knows the knowledge will talk. Otherwise, they will not talk. If you want to gain knowledge, you have to surrender, be the devotee, have faith, and then inquire. Then you will get the knowledge to learn. Right? Now let us go to the next slok. मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु
कश्चिद्यतति सिद्धये
कश्चिद्यतति सिद्धये
यत्तामपि सिद्धानां
यततामपि सिद्धानां
कश्चिन्मां वेति तत्त्वतः
कश्चिन्मां वेति तत्त्वतः
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु
कश्चिद्यतति सिद्धये
कश्चिद्यतति सिद्धये
यत्तामपि सिद्धानां
यततामपि सिद्धानां
कश्चिन्मां वेति तत्त्वतः
कश्चिन्मां वेति तत्त्वतः
Many.
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु
Manushyanam sahasreshu
कश्चिद्यतति सिद्धये
Kashchid yatati siddhaye
यततामपि सिद्धानां
Yatatamapi siddhanam
कश्चिन्मां वेत्ति तत्त्वतः
Kashchid mam vedi tatvatah. Now here Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu. Sahasreshu means thousands and thousands of people. And out of many thousands and thousands of Manushyanam means people, men, right? Kashchid, anyone. Yatati siddhaye. Someone wants to achieve transcendental knowledge. Someone wants to go towards transcendental knowledge. There's so many people, right? But out of thousands and thousands of people, someone wants to inquire about transcendental knowledge and wants to go towards siddhi. Yatatamapi siddhanam. And out of all those siddhanams, all those people who are on the journey to know to understand the transcendental knowledge, Kaschin Mam Veti Tatvata. Very, very few out of those thousands of people who are also in the line who wants to know the transcendental in siddhi, out of that also, very, very rare, very rare. Veti Tatvata. Veti means knows, can know. Tatvata, my Tatva, my Tat, Mam, my Tatva. Very few, it is very, very rare that people, will actually understand my Tattva. And if you remember in the 4th chapter, we have read this shlok in the 9th shlok of 4th chapter. We have talked, Krishna has said, Janma karmcha me divyam evam yo veti tattvata Tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti so Arjuna. He said, Oh Arjun, Janm karmcha me divya. My appearance and my activities are divya. They are divine. And evam yo veti tatvata. If anyone ever can understand that tattva, can understand that tattva about my appearance and my activity, then what will happen? Tyaktva deham. Once they have left this body, Tyaktva deham punarjanma. They will not take birth. Neti mameti swarjan. They will never take. They will attain my eternal abode. Neti mam eti sarvaja. They will attain my eternal abode. So Krishna says in the 3rd shloka of 7th chapter, he says that let's read the English meaning. Out of many thousands among men,
out of many thousands among men,
one may endeavor for perfection.
one may endeavor for perfection.
And of those who have achieved perfection,
And of those who have achieved perfection,
hardly one knows me in truth.
hardly one
Knows me in truth, right? So, first of all, getting this human life itself is rare. But human life actually starts when we start searching or questioning, who am I? Why am I here? That is the time when our actual human life starts. Otherwise, we are nothing but like a two-legged animals. The only difference, if you look at any animal and us, they also sleep, we also sleep. They also eat, we also eat. They also do mating, we also do mating. They also do defending, we also do defending. If you have left this life only in these 4 things, then you are nothing but a two-legged animal. Unless you have moved forward and have tried to understand who am I, why I am here, what is the purpose, that is the time when your spiritual journey starts. And for that, the basic thing that is to be done is chanting the God's name and hearing Krishna Kathas. They are the basic things. When you do that, you will start having those questions because you will get purified from those 4 things slowly. And then you will start having questions and then you will slowly grow. Got it? So human life starts when we are inquisitive about Brahma, right? Now, even Devtas, Krishna says, even Devtas, they don't know him. And I will tell a story from Bhagavatam. And that story is called Brahma Vimohan Leela. So what happened is, we all know that Krishna, 5,000 years back, he appeared in Vrindavan. And when he appeared in Vrindavan, and why he appeared in Vrindavan? Because there are so many rishis, there are so many munis. They have been doing tapasya and from ages. And when they have done ages, so what they want Krishna. Someone wanted him as a friend, Someone wanted him as a son, someone wanted him as a lover, someone wanted him as, so to satisfy all those rishis and yogis, what he has done, he has taken birth in Vrindavan. And all the people in Vrindavan that you see, they are not even the leaf, not even the trees, not even the sand particles which is in Vrindavan. Nothing is normal. Nothing is normal. They all are simply great. They are great rishis and munis. So if you see those Vrindavan by your this eye, which is extremely defective, you can never understand Vrindavan. To see Vrindavan, you have to be a devotee. And then only you can understand Vrindavan. Because in Vrindavan, whoever is staying, they are not new normal human beings. We can only go to Vrindavan for a few days. Whatever pious activity that would have achieved, Krishna would have called us for those 1 day, 2 day, 2. Otherwise, we can't reach there. It is impossible. Got it? So Krishna came some 5,000 years back to Vrindavan to satisfy all his devotees, highest devotees who had been asking him to be with them. And when he was there, he stayed in Vrindavan only till around 11 years, and then he left Vrindavan, right? So when he was 5 years old, and with all his Sakhya, all the Gopas, he was playing, and he had gone to forest, and there what had happened, the Agasura was actually, he was a demon, and this demon was nothing but Putana's brother. And he was Putana's brother. And what happened? He took a form of python, and he actually swallowed all the Gopas, all the friends of Krishna. And Krishna, what happened? He actually went and rescued all of them. Now, after rescuing, they all were sitting in the forest, and all the calves were actually, they were grazing the grasses, and these friends were sitting together. And suddenly the Gopas remembered that, okay, we can't see the calves anymore. I don't know where. It looks like they have gone too much inside the forest. So Krishna says, okay, because all those incident has happened, and he has actually rescued them and has brought them back. He says, okay, do one thing. You all sit here and enjoy your tiffin. Let me go and take care of the calves. So he goes inside the forest looking for the calves. Now, when he goes inside the forest looking for the calves, he could not find the calves. And then what happened when he could not find the calves? He came back to see his friends. There was no friend. They were also not there. So Krishna was started wondering that what happened to what happened to them. And then, so what had happened was, before that, the Agasura case had happened, and he has already killed, he has killed Agasura. So all the devtas were actually, they were showering flowers from up. So Brahma saw this happening, and he was wondering, who is this 5 years old boy? Why is all the devtas flowering? They are showering these flowers and talking about his greatness. Let me see what is this guy doing? What is this boy doing? What Brahma did was, he said that, okay, when Krishna went in search of the calves, Brahma saw, and he actually took all the calves away and hid them in a secluded place. And by the time Krishna returned, he had taken all the Gopas also with him. Now, when Krishna came back and saw there is none of his friends are there, so he thought, and then he could see, okay, Brahma has actually taken away everyone. He said, fine, nothing doing. What he did was, he expanded himself, and he expanded himself into all the cowherd boys as well as all the calves. He expanded because he's the god. He can do that. So he expanded himself, and each of the boy resembled exactly as he was, wearing the same clothes, wearing the same dress, behaving. And similarly, all the calves were as is. And then, as normal, he started playing with them. And in the evening, he took all of them back to Vrindavan. And when he went back to Vrindavan to their mothers, each of the mother, they started feeling, why am I having so much? I feel more love for my son today. Yeah. So they started, and similarly the calves, this continued, and every day now, very nicely, Krishna, no one came to know about this, that the son is Krishna, and the calves is Krishna, and this continued for 1 year. This whole thing continued for 1 year. And in 1 year, what happened in the meantime, Brahma, for a second, he had gone inside and he came out. Now, Brahma's 1 second is 1 year of our, less than 1 second is actually, less than 1 kshan is also, more than 1 year, is 1 year for our earth. We'll talk about that later, how it is. But then, so when he came back, he saw Krishna is everyone is there. So he got bewildered. What happened? I had actually taken them away. So he went to the place to see. He saw everyone was sleeping there. So he's wondering what happened. And when he came back, he saw, okay, then what happened? Now Krishna knew that Brahma is getting bewildered. So Krishna did his magic. And then Krishna brought them all back into their original form. What are they? They're all Vishnu Tattva. So he could see all of them. When Brahma saw, he saw all the cowherd birds were nothing, but they were in the form of Narayan, and all the cows were nothing but the Narayan. Now Krishna realized, oh God, I mistook this boy as a small boy, but this is Krishna himself. So he got really worried, and he came down begging for mercy from Krishna. So that's why Krishna says that even Devtas don't know me. It's difficult for them to know me. So that is what it is. So Manushyanam Sahasraishu Kaschid Yati Yatsdaye Yatatamapi Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tatvata. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me truth. So today with this, we will end the class. Yeah, we'll end this class here. Any questions that you have? If not, let us chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you.